We're back again. Spurs. 3-1 up, and we throw it away. 3-3 in the end. Welcome to another one of our reaction shows. Hello, welcome to Paxton Road TV, PRTV. I'm Sam Spurs for Life. And this is your reaction show for the game that's just finished. Southampton 3, Tottenham Hotspur 3 in the last 15 minutes of madness, which, to be fair, you know, we can always do this with Spurs. We can go up, we can go down, we can go around, we can go around. We're just going to do the same things. It seems like we are here again. Anyway, in the house joining me today, we have the one and only Sid Spurs and also the one and only Sean Hell, Paxton Road TV Zone. I'm going to try and do the banners in the background. That's the wrong one. Before I do that, I might as well start. Firstly, you shouldn't really lose a game. Well, you didn't lose. It feels like a loss. You shouldn't really draw a game 3-1 up, 15 minutes to go. So we cause our own downfall. But what I will say is, whoever is involved with VAR, they need to really sort this stuff out. Somebody needs to be taken into some kind of reprimand situation here, because this is ridiculous now. We clearly saw there was no kick. And Lassell said, people going to say, oh, well, we're just... Yes, 3-1 winning. You should not draw a game of football in this circumstances, 15 minutes to go. But when you just need a little bit of luck to be ridden, when you've seen... you know, decisions given for a lot less than that, or certainly a lot more contact. There wasn't what appeared to be any contact. And this could be a very costly 2 points. We should have won the game. There's no doubt about it. I kind of called it yesterday 3-1, I said. And it was looking good 15 minutes to go. I thought, yeah, we've ridden our luck at times, but we were definitely the better team in terms of finishing our chances. And then you go and do what Spurs always do, put the pressure on ourselves. You know, the goal we conceded, there was all kinds of things going off there. Pyro's not closing down quick enough. Players not close enough to players in the box. Heading down. Nobody around bloody Walcott. The one player you don't want to score against you is him. You know, apart from Walker Peters as well. But even so, Theo Walcott being in a box, able to just tap in from 6 yards, shouldn't happen in a game of football. Not when you're wanting to win and keep the score, you know, as it was 3-1. So, yeah, we were makers of our own downfall, but please, Sid, talk to me about the game. And if you can avoid it, well, don't avoid it, because it shouldn't be avoided. Talk to me about VAR. It's ridiculous now, isn't it?
Listen, we said yesterday, didn't we? And Conte said it as well, that we need to start aggressively and we need to come out and give it to Southampton. We didn't do it again. Fucking week in, week out, we just sit back and sit back and sit back. And let a team who's bottom of the league, who hasn't scored more than 1 goal in a game, and yet they fucking scored 3 goals today against us, right? And you saw the game, and that every time they attacked, they did look menacing, right? And the fact is, 34-year-old Walcott was running rings around our defense, and it's that first half was shocking. 5-10 seconds into the second half, we're falling asleep and giving him all the freedom of St. Mary's, and they get the equaliser. And then after that, all right, we went 3-1 up, but there was no urgency. Kane's celebration was okay. Perisic didn't even celebrate that goal, right? You've just gone 3-1 up, and he's not even celebrating it. There was not even, you know, there's no excitement in that team. There was no like, yes, come on, guys, we've got this 3-1, whatever, yeah. Nothing. It was just like they're turning up, picking up their wages and going home. It's fucking ridiculous, yeah? And there's no passion in that team at all. And as for VAR, you know what? I was watching it, right? And the commentator even said, that is not a penalty. That's very harsh. And he goes, I'll be surprised if they don't overturn it. So what have they looked at to say that's a penalty? That is not a penalty, man. That is not even touched him. All right, his leg's gone up. Fair enough. Yeah, Saar should not be doing what he's done. I mean, and he didn't see the guy coming from behind. But that's not a penalty. There was fouls by Southampton players where the ref didn't even look at the foul. He let it play and then didn't even bother. But at the end of the day, you cannot let a 3-1 go. You're winning 3-1 with 15 minutes to go. How the fuck are you bottling that? How are you bottling 3-1? And it's week in, week out, time after time. It's, yes, you can blame the manager. Yes, you can blame the chairman. Stop blaming these fucking players, man. It's ridiculous.
No leadership. No, as I said, the second goal, remember, we were leading throughout this whole match. We were leading. Went 1-0 up, they come back. You know what I mean? We go 2-1 up. We go 3-1 up, they come back. As you said already, Sid, we said it in the preview show. This team has scored 0.74 goals per game.
Yeah.
I think got 11 goals all season at home. They're knocking 3 today. It says it all about the team, our team. It says it all to me about our team. There is no mentality there. I don't care if the VAR decision went against us. Ultimately, we shouldn't be conceding a penalty when you're 3-1 up, getting to 3-2, and then it's like, okay, somebody on the pitch, 2 people, whoever it is, let us not lose this game. Whatever we do, we can't do silly things. No fouls in and around the box. We've got James Ward-Prowse. No corners. Let's get solid, and then we're going to play from here. We're going to play from our shape. There's none of that. There's none of that. All I'm seeing is Conte barking out orders. The players can't make any decisions themselves. In that situation, it's got to be the players on the pitch. They have to take control of that situation. 1 or 2 players have to say, hold on a minute. 15 minutes to go, they've got to go back. The crowd are up. Let's make this really, really slow. Let's get some fouls going off here. Let's just go down. Whatever you need to do. Games, I don't care. People say games and shit. That's part of the game. That's part of the game. There's nothing in their side. Nothing that suggests to me that there's anybody that has a desire to win when you're 3-1 up. It weren't like it was 3-2 at that point. Do you know? We just keep doing this to ourselves. No mentality, no leadership. Nobody can just say, right, that's it, shut up shop. For a defensive coach, as Conte is, let's not get it twisted. He is a defensive coach, and we can't defend. It's crazy. Sure, talk to me, my friend. Talk to me.
I can't. I'm fucking speechless. Sorry, excuse me. I'm speechless at that ineptitude. And irrespective of the fact that the VAR decision, they got what they deserve, Southampton. They terrorised us in the second half. This is a team that lost their 2 centre-backs in the first half. And we couldn't keep them out. Shocking. No leadership, as you say. We got what we deserved. And anyone who alludes to how great a manager Conte is, he couldn't organise himself out of a wet paper bag. He can't inspire those players. We were shocking, and we got what we deserved. Nothing.
The scoreline would have flattered us at 3-1. I get that. I would definitely say that. Southampton, but we said this yesterday. If the crowd stays with them, it's going to be tough. But I said also yesterday, if we score first and we get the goals at the right time and we get a lead, it's going to be very difficult for them because they don't score any goals. But you can't let a team with 0.74 goals a game over 27, 28 games score 3 goals against you and hope to win when you're away from home. If you score 3 goals away,
they had 7 shots on target to our 4.
34-year-old up front running fucking riot.
Let's have a look at some of these stats because I think we're going to have to do some of this sort of thing here because I just... Possession-wise, 51% to them, 49 to us. Shots, 19 to them, 16 to... 16 to us. 7 shots on target, 3 on target for us. We're obviously very good on target today. Corners, 10 to them, 3 to us. Again, for a team that, we've got the danger in the situation from the... That's too many corners to be given away. They only gave us 3. Why are we giving away 10? What kind of defending is going on when you've got 5 men at the back? What's going on defensively? What is going on? Conceding another 3 goals in a game which we really should have won. I said yesterday it wasn't a must win because teams are going to drop points. But when Newcastle get the result that they did yesterday in the 93rd minute, it puts it on you to make sure that you win the game when you're 3-1 up. I must have said that about 6 or 7 times now, but I can't get over it myself. I cannot get over that. I cannot. He even brought on Sarr and kept Skip on and kept Hotspur on, and they still didn't shut up shop. What is going on? Looking at this again, 12 fouls to RA. It's mind blowing. The team, yeah, we can have a look at it. We knew that was going to be the lineup. What happened to Richarlison at the start? I didn't get to see the start. Did he come in very, very early? What happened?
Apparently,
after 3 minutes.
Yeah, apparently in the warm up, there was something. Apparently, he got injured or something in the warm up, and then he started the game. In my opinion, if he's got injured in the warm up, right, it's got to be serious for him to go off within the first 2-3 minutes of the game. So why are they not assessing that before he gets on? I keep saying this, our medical team is probably one of the worst in that Prem. They haven't got a freaking clue, man.
That is unbelievable. I didn't know what happened. I thought he might not have started the game. I knew he was on the starting lineup, but I didn't see him because I literally missed the first 5 minutes. And I thought, okay, Kulusevski started. He must not have been fit, whatever. He started the game and came off after having a bit of a suspect warm-up. Come on. That's part of the kamikaze stuff that I was talking about yesterday in terms of the kamikaze missions, because you could see if a player's, you don't take any risks. What's Dan Juma done? The same thing that Spence probably did. You know, got pictures of Conte doing things that we don't want to talk about, because that's the only thing I can think why these players are not getting opportunities. Yeah, of course, Kulusevski is going to come on or start in place of Richarlison. But at no point I didn't ever think we was ever going to really bring on anybody else attacking wise to affect this game. But we were winning the game comfortably. 3-1's a comfortable scoreline. Comfortable enough that you can then take off Kulusevski. You can then bring on Sarr. You can then say, right, we're going to shut shop up here. But we shut up shop and leave the bloody lot undone, don't we? So we can't work. It just don't work. It don't work. Sid, the team started, I don't know. As I said, I missed the first 5 minutes. It just looked like the crowd were with Southampton today, which is always going to be the case. I think to not put too much of we rode our luck, but I think that was always to be expected for a team in their position. I just said yesterday, if we score first, we should be able to maintain a decent amount of control in the game. We were never really in control, but when you go 3-1 up, to me, that's control. You can't get any more than that. 3-1 away from home, team don't score goals. That's game over. And I think Conte's mentality would be that's game over. But he should realise now you can't trust these players. A little bit of a hit, or a little bit of a wobble. I saw the wobble when the corner came across. It went out, headers come out, headed back. There was nobody within 5-10 yards of the player who received it just on the edge of the box when they headed it back in. He just turned. Porro then is trying to run after some other guy. You know what I mean? Because his defensive shape was just running forward, running back. The cross comes in again. And I don't understand our players in terms of aggressiveness. Because how can he just knot it down and simply let Walcott come in and breathe? Where is the tight marking? The tight marking. I've said it before. Spaces don't score goals. Players do. That's an old age saying. In the box, spaces don't score goals. Players do. Mark your players. The space won't score the goal, people. Comical defending. Sean, what do you think Conte's actually thinking? Do you think he's just not bothered now? Or is he going to really get into it? Because he needs to get into these players. He needs to get into himself as well. I don't know who does that, who gets into nobody, obviously. But he needs to get into these players because this mentality thing is doing my head in. Doing my head in.
You know, I'm just speechless. Absolutely speechless. I just cannot believe what I've just witnessed. Southampton had scored 11 goals at home all season, and they've scored 3 against us. It's unbelievable. Too many players thought 3-1 the game was done, and the guy on the left-hand side just terrorised us because he just kept getting through Porro. He got through Royale, supposedly the more defensive of our fullbacks. Nothing worked. And to be fair, as I've said, Southampton wanted it more. In the end, they wanted it more. They pressed us. Hotspur and Skip just couldn't exert any control in the midfield. And you know, I mean, when we took the lead, it was against. I thought it was, you know, it was unfair on Southampton in the first half, and you know, when they scored immediately after, you just sensed there was no way we were going to win that game, even at 3-1. We were never in control, and that is about game management, and that is supposed to be Conte's forte, game management, and we showed none of it. We were like a Sunday Park team today. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I want Conte out on his ear. I want the season's done. You don't even entertain the idea of us getting top 4. We can't beat Southampton from a 3-1 leading position with 15 minutes to go. No, we don't deserve it. In fact, we don't deserve Europe because we've been pants all season. Pants. Oh, God, I just despair of watching this team. And the passivity, the lack of urgency. No one got into attack. The only person who showed any fight in the defense was Dyer, and it meant that he was left out of. Often he would be left out of position because he was the one coming forward to actually put a foot on the player. I just Romero timid. He's obviously scared now. He's been scared the other way that he won't risk a yellow card. And I've just done it. Don't know. Yeah, exactly. A week of planning and rest, and they turn up like that. Who do we think we are? Who do we think we are? That we just, you know, we can't even raise our game, play with any conviction against Southampton, who are fighting for their very life.
You know what? Sure, I agree with everything you said. You can't. It's hard. But what I would say is, the team got to that position, regardless of how they play. At times, we're talking about just getting the results, just get like what Newcastle did yesterday. Just get a result. You know, we were more than comfortable in a result. I saw 75 minutes plus on the clock, and it's 3-1. Yes, the game's going back and forth a little bit, but that's control. Now, all you have to do is slow the game down. You can be very defensive. You can be like how, you know, we've seen other teams play against us, but then again, some teams who play against us attack us and makes us even more weak. But you know what I'm saying? We could have managed that game. But the problem is there's nobody on that pitch who's able to do that, because rightly or wrongly, over the last couple of appointments, Nuno not so much, but Jose, these players have been coached within an inch of their life. They have got no absolute, just off the cuff.
There's no freedom of expression, Sam.
Freedom of expression. You couldn't put it better myself. There is no freedom of expression because it's like, well, what do we do now? But it's not like we haven't been in these situations before. This is what I don't understand. You've got to learn from your situations. We've been in this situation before where we've thrown goals away. We've thrown 2-goal leads away. And we've got to get a result over line. So it's not like these players haven't experiences. But what I don't understand is they're not learning from any of this. None of these players, nobody, I didn't see anybody just say, hold on, take the ball. Listen, lads, calm it down. Just don't rush things. Don't run back to the centre circle and put the ball down and be like this. Let's have a chat. Let's get together. Just do something like what I would consider to be freedom of expression. Forget what he's saying on the sideline here, because he's probably just barking out orders and they probably can't hear most of them on the other side of the pitch anyway. So we have to take responsibility ourselves, and you do that by having leaders on the pitch. There's not one leader in this bloody group. Not one. I don't care if Harry Kane's England captain. He's not a leader in terms of grabbing players by the scruff of the neck, as they would say, the old Graham Souness, the old Roy Keane style. There's none of that. I don't expect players to go booting your teammates and stuff, but I do expect them to give them something of a bloody rocket when they need it. Sid, do you think now that that's it for us in terms of the top 4? Because I can't do that. I can't do that. The reason I can't do that is because I know that other teams are going to mess up. But when you give away an opportunity like this today, it really makes you question what we can actually get out of this season now. On mute, mate. You're on mute.
I'm just going to say something, come back to something Sean said about top 4 and Europe. all I can say, right, and his Jews nuts is here. He might like this, he might not like this, but the only Europe we can think of, right, we're going to get next season is this one. And it goes like this. We're leaving together, but still it's farewell. And maybe we'll come back to earth, who can tell? I guess there is no one to blame. We're leaving ground. Will things ever be the same again? It's the final countdown. I'm telling you that now. You know, I was talking to my sons about this. How the hell are we top 4? I don't know. Honestly, if people are looking at that league table and they're seeing Spurs are in the top 4, and they would actually go and watch Spurs play, and if they watch today's game where you're 3-1 up, and you both have said it, against a team who's bottom of the league, who can't score goals to save their lives, yet they score almost a third of what they've scored all season in one game against Spurs, right? And we could have gone third today ahead of Man United if we had won. It's you know what, you'd be thinking, hold on a second, somebody wake me up, take my face out of a bowl of cornflakes. That can't be Spurs, because that table, they say it never lies. It must be lying, because we
This table's lying. This table's lying like a mofo. This
That's what
table's
I'm saying.
lying like a mofo.
We should
You know what
not
I mean?
be in that position. How the hell have we got to that position? It's
The 3
beyond-
clubs below us are better than us.
all day long. All day long. And the worst thing is, Liverpool are shocking, right? But they're only 7 points behind us with 2 games in hand. Brighton have got games in hand as well. And you guys have said it, right? And I'm going to say it again. Theo Walcott's 34 years old. He ran as ragged today. Every time he got that ball, the man was outpacing every single one of our defenders, and he was giving them a run for their money, right? And these Tottenham players must have been thinking, wow, this 34-year-old is on. This is a Theo Walcott that's been frozen out of the club by the other 2 previous managers. He's only just got back in recently. And for his goal, you've got Harry Kane and Eric Dyer on the line. Doing what? Romero's stood there as well. 4 defenders, if you include Dyer, Kane, and Romero, and he's got the freedom of the stadium to slot it into the back of the net. You know what I mean? You're 3-1 up, and you can't even do that simple defending that grassroots levels coaches teach you. And then, like you've said, Sean, and you've said it as well, Sam, we were never in control of that game. I think Skip and Højbjerg were horrendous today. The pair of them, right? My boy was crying out for Højbjerg to be taken off at some point towards when I think it was 3-1 or 3-2. But all of them, and Dyer had an all right game, but all of them, it's just, I don't know what's going on with this club. Honestly, I just do not know.
I can tell you, it's mentality. The
It's
players
ridiculous.
cannot cope under extreme pressure. They can't. It's been proven over time. It's been proven. If this was a unique situation, getting into a lead 3-1, 15 minutes to go, not to lose the game, not to even draw the game, should I say, you'd think, right, okay, they've not seen this situation before. But we've seen this countless times. I've seen it countless times. Sean's seen it countless times. Sid, you've seen it countless times. We've all have. The players have. The manager has. Everybody has.
Other managers have. West
Well,
Ham United at home.
Yeah.
And
There you go.
Jose.
There you go. Same sort of thing. That's a prime example. That is all mentality. The Battle of the Bridge. Remember that one? Mentality. We suffer from it, and it's like there's the script's already there. You can see, right? So what happens is a goal. 2-goal lead becomes a 1-goal lead. Squeaky bum times, Alex Ferguson calls it. But teams have got into that position many times. Look what they do. What is it that they do? Right, a lot of it's down to people in the actual team themselves. They will take that leadership and do something about it, because the coach can't do everything. He sets out a style of play. He sets out patterns of play. He sets out how we think we should attack, what's the strategy, makes the substitutions, and does a bit from the sideline. But I'm telling you now, when you're on the other side of the pitch, you can't hear what he's saying. So if he's doing this and he's doing all that, if Roy's on the other side, he ain't got a clue what Conte's saying. So he has to play off instinct. He has to play off what he knows. He has to have some freedom of expression. And I can see when the pressure is on, these players don't have that.
But Sam,
they crumble.
Perisic scores his first goal for Spurs. There was no emotion. There was nothing. Mariah Carey's emotion song probably had more hits than he did. He didn't even celebrate. There was not even a smile on his face, and you've just put your team 3-1 up. And if that's what you're getting...
but to be fair, I think he was disappointed that it's taken himself this long to score.
Yeah, but he still.
I think that was to be fair. I'm not going to blame us drawing 3-3 on the fact that Perisic didn't.
Oh no, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying.
No. What he does with his celebrations, I'm not bothered about that myself either. But let's just. I want you to answer this first, Sid, and I'm going to put it on to Sean. What Juice Nuts says: should we part ways with Conte now during the international break?
Yes. Fucking get him gone. Reset.
There's no point.
Top four. Fuck off Europe. Get a new team. Fuck off. Fuck off, Conte. You fucking true troll.
There you go. Well, that's Sean. I was going to ask him second, but I think we already know what his answer might be. Sid, what's your... No, that's cool. I love it. We've got to rant because, like I said, I've had mine in the past. We've all had them.
Chance
Sid.
to go third is just...
Sid.
Listen, I've said this all along. You can't sack him with... He's only got 2 months left of his contract. You're not going to get anyone in. You're not going to get no bounce back ability from anyone coming in. And you're not going to get nothing from them players. Them players, like we said, they're dead food. They're not interested. They're finished. Season's gone. They might as well go on holiday now. Because if you can't beat Southampton away when you're winning 3-1 and then you draw 3-3, there's no point. If you sack Conte now, he's only got 2 months left anyway. So it's not like, you might as well just let him run the course. I personally, for today's performance, I don't blame Conte because 2 substitutions had to be made because they were injured, right? I mean, Richarlison's face said it all, right? It must have been bad for him to the way he went. Normally you just go, yeah, but he covered his face and whatever, and he was distraught. So it must have been something, like I said, medical team.
For Brazil.
Medical team. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. And then Ben Davies hamstring injury. Fair enough. But it's the players. And then he made 3-1 up or 3-2 up whenever he made the substitutions. I personally wouldn't have brought Sarr on anyway, right? But he's made the substitution. But it's down to the players. I'm sorry. It's down to the players, their mentality, and they need to show more bottle. He can't go on that pitch and literally do that player's job. He picks the team that he thinks is best to go out there and win that game, which we were doing at 3-1. But then it's down to the players. They have to show a bit of authority, a bit of leadership, a bit of common sense. Like you said, Sean, take that foul, kick the ball into the Roy's head, do whatever you got to do, game management. But these lot cannot do that. It's ridiculous how these Premiership players, especially Tottenham Hotspur players, week in, week out. You can't do that. Yeah, and if you can't do that against the teams that are bottom of the league, how the hell are you? We've got Brighton coming up next. Might as well not bother turning up.
We've got Everton next, have we not?
Everton and then Brighton at home, I think. Don't bother turning up.
So what I'm saying is, if these players can't cope with this crowd, think what Everton's going to be like. Do you know what I mean? They've probably seen this. If they're not concentrating on their own games for whatever reason, they will watch this.
They're playing at Chelsea at the minute, so...
Yeah.
So Sean Dice will watch this tomorrow, probably the day after, whatever it will be, and he'll know exactly what to do. And I think he's got better players at Everton than he did at Burnley to be able to put it on us. I think he has got better players. They're just not playing very well. That's all it is. And I think if he gets into them, then he will. But what I was just going to say was, I have to give Conte some blame as well today. Yeah, I talked about the players. I talked about the mentality. You just can't give them that for whatever they have to have that in themselves. I don't think there's any player that's got that deep down. Yeah. Put good beats his comment on. I agree with him on that comment. The last comment he's put up. I agree. Where's that? Down the bottom? Yeah, shall I put it up? That one. Managers can plan jump scoops. Yeah, I know. As I said,
but if a manager scares the players, into the point where they don't perform, he's actually detrimental to the performance of the team. And that's why he's at fault. He's killed these players by overcoaching them. He's killed them.
I was just going to add that. As what Good Beats is saying is correct in what he's saying. The manager does jump and down screaming the players, but the manager is responsible for what he does and how the players go out onto the pitch. What are they like as players? What group have you put together that's going to go down, in your opinion, in your image? Maybe he's going to make the excuse, none of these players are in my image because I didn't buy any of them. That's probably his excuse. But that can't be an excuse throughout the whole season, throughout your tenure as a manager. Go back to the Ten Hag thing. He ain't got the players he wants to play system. You have to manage. You have to coach. What are we best at doing this season? Scoring goals. We're probably third or fourth on the list. What we're not very good at doing, keeping clean sheets, conceding goals, we're probably way down. So why would you then not even think about doing a substitution where you can have some sort of counter-attack with pace? Dan Juma, by all accounts, has got a bit of pace. You go ultra defensive by bringing Sarr on. We can't defend.
The other thing,
we can't defend.
We can't. And the other thing, at half time, you've gone in, you've had 15 minutes where you've told them, tum. What's the first thing you then say? You're winning 1-0. You've just scored before the break, which everyone always says the best time to score a goal is just before a break. And then what do these players come and do? Are you telling me that's Conte's fault that they've come out straight away within 10 seconds they've conceded? That's just fucking not prepared or just not being there, or I don't know what it was. But within 15 seconds of the game kicking off in the second half, we've conceded a goal. Yeah. And I think I read a stat. We've conceded 9 goals in the first 15 minutes of a second half this season or something like that. That's ridiculous. And just let one in within 10 seconds of the kickoff. I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. And you can't blame Conte for that. Because he's had his talk and they've come out onto the pitch and they've scored straight from kickoff.
What we've got in this situation, we've got some really bad things going on. We can't defend. That's one thing. We don't have the mentality. That's the other thing. And mistakes that we make tend to lead to goals all the time. All the time, it just seems. Every single time. Even the VAR decision. I know he's trying to clear the ball, but your foot's up above your head. So why isn't your head up there? Head in the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not quite sure what he's doing, but taking that away, he didn't touch him. And I thought you had to have contact for the penalty, but then they're going to say, well, the intent was there. I'm confused. VAR looked at that and I thought to myself, there is no way on earth, as much as we don't deserve this, there's no way on earth they can give that.
I tell you what, but as well. Watch the Villa game later on tonight. Apparently, it's a blatant. There's a handball in the penalty box, and it's not been given. So there's that VAR and them refereeing. They just need to be looked at because people lose jobs for lesser things. Yeah? And these clowns in that VAR, I don't know what they're doing or what they should be done. They should be gone. I'm telling you now, because then, like you said, Sam, at the beginning of the show, them 2 points today that could cost us big time.
Oh, it's cost us, mate. I'm telling you now, that's a massive. That's cost us. Sean, do you see any positives out of anything going forward? I know you've talked about the Turin troll. You want him out now. You want him gone. I get that. You don't want to see that football. I agree. The football's been terrible all season, and we're where we are. I still don't know we're top 4, but we are where we are because we can score goals. We just can't defend. We can't defend for toffee. Do you see any positives between now and the end of the season, or is it a case for you is change has to happen now?
The international break for me is a perfect opportunity to change it. It's clear that the players aren't doing whatever Conte tells them. He has taken all spontaneity out of the team. That was what we had last year in answer to Good Beats. We had some spontaneity. None of it this year. We are overcoached to within an inch of our life. And it's eye-scrapingly bad. From day one, it's been eye-scrapingly bad. I cannot understand how we were so good last spring. We've had 2 windows and we've regressed under this manager because he's taken any spirit out of the players. That's all I can think. He's like a Dementor in Harry Potter. He's just sucked the fucking life out of them, and we just don't know how to. We just cannot manage a game, and we were never in control of that game. Never in control of that game. Even though we took the lead, even though we took a 2-goal lead, we allowed them to come back into the game. And you know, I don't see that it was Walcott. It was the guy on the left-hand side who absolutely terrorised us.
Yeah, and that's down to the players. You see, had that been the roles reversal, had we been at home and had been suffering a 3-1 loss, our players wouldn't have been able to bring us as the fans out to stay with them. That's the difference. The players on the pitch had to keep playing so the fans stayed with them. Because if they just went, ugh, the fans would not have just kept on singing because you're 3-1 down. You know your team don't score goals. Game over. But what happened was the players kept playing. Regardless of whatever quality it was, regardless of any of that, they kept playing. They kept running. They kept trying to press. They kept trying to make the crowd stay with them because they know if the crowd stays with them, they've got half a chance. That's the only way they're going to stay up this season. It's not going to be on their away form. It's going to be on how many points they can pick up between now and the end of the season at home. It's the same for Everton. It's the same for Leeds. It's the same for all them teams down there. Their fans have to stay with them. We don't seem to be able to do that. And the reason I think I know that now is because our players don't give us the opportunity to stay with them. We never had any opportunity to stay with them. You said it yourself, Sean. You were never comfortable. I was kind of comfortable at 3-1 at 75 minutes gone. But when I saw that 3-2 going, I was like, here we go. We might not get out of here with a win. I didn't foresee what I foresaw, but I just thought we might not get out of here with a win. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I'll give you another example. Wolves. We got beat by Wolves. Leeds battered them 4-2. They were 3-0 up at one point, right? So I don't know. But guess what? Ramadan starts this week, and I am so glad because my tickets are going back to club. Brighton tickets have gone. Bournemouth are going to go because Ramadan, I'm not going to go because if I go there, I'm just going to keep swearing. I'm going to break my fast. So best thing to do is I'm going to stay at home, and the next 4 weeks is going to be calmer for me. Just chill. Forget about this shit of a fucking dire football club for 4 weeks. And then hopefully after Ramadan, everything will be lost. As Sean said, we'll be out of Europe and whatever, and we can just formality towards the end of the season.
Good Beats keeps defending Conte. For what? What has Conte done that's any different from Jose?
I actually think he's worse than Jose in terms of his mentality at this stage, in terms of how he's not even tried to coach these players in a different way than what he knows. Yes, he hasn't got the players that is in his identity. Good Beats, that's a good point. These are not his players. But we've had, 3 transfer windows?
How many managers get their players? How many managers turn up and say, I want all 11, I can replace all 11 players?
100%. And that's my point, Sean. I'm going on to the point about coaching. Your top level, you don't get to that top level without going through coaching badges. I've done some of them myself. I know what it takes to get your UEFA level B, let alone your pro license and your whatever they've got. And then they've been in the game. They've played the game for years. They know the game inside out. But this stubbornness about what I'm going to do at all costs is going to work. That level of management has gone with Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger. Them lot, that's when it went. Jose tried to do it, continue that on, but it's not going to be the case. It just won't be the case because players, hold on a minute. I don't care who you are. I'm earning 200 grand here. I don't care who you are. I'm only 18, but I'm earning 100 grand here. I'm not even in a team. I'm just like going from club to club, but I'm earning 75 grand a week here. What do you think you're going to be like mentally wise if you don't have any sort of real desire because you're getting paid that amount of money? That's what these players are. The manager is down to make sure these players don't have that attitude going into games. Pep, as soon as any player kicks up a fuss or anything like that, they're gone. Gone. Doesn't matter how brilliant you are. See you later. I'll play. And now I know he's in a different stratosphere to what we've got, but he still stands by those principles. And he will try something different if it's not working. He will try maybe a different formation. How many times have we tried different formations and seen any coaching? Good beats. I'm with Sean on this one. The manager has to take full responsibility if he's playing these players or he's not coaching these
The definition of
players.
madness is repeating it again and again and again and expecting different outcome. And that's what we have. It's madness. It's madness watching Tottenham. And I wish I was a Muslim because I would be joining Sam on his fast next week.
I'm going to do it as well. I'm not Muslim. I'm going to do it. I think I need to. I need something else in my life to concentrate on other than this team, because this team's not good for you. I was away for 2 weeks and it was nice. I enjoyed my life, man. I enjoyed my life. It was great. I got a few messages. I was like, oh, we lost them. And Tottenham. You know, we lost the Wolves. I come back here and it's like they're trying to take everything back out of me when you're 3-1 up.
The problem is, yeah, Conte takes blame. The players take a lot of the blame. However, if we get rid of Conte, right, then we're not going to get rid of the players. We know about after Poch, under Mourinho, Nuno, now Conte, the players that we need to get rid of, we're not getting rid of. So we get rid of Conte, we're still going to be stuck with them players because Levy he's given money, but he hasn't replaced the defenders majority of defenders that apart from, well, we've got Romero in, but the rest needs replacing. Now, he hasn't replaced that. What is there any guarantees that in the summer they're going to be replaced again? They're looking at giving Dyer a new contract, as someone's already put on there. That's correct. Another new contract to Dyer. Why? He's a squad player. So then you need to get someone who's better than him. Are you telling me if he gets rid of Conte, he's going to get another manager in, and God forbid it's not Pochettino because he's just another yes man. A new manager comes in. Is he going to get his players? No. So we're going to be back to Groundhog Day again. And then next season at this time, we'll be having the same conversation again because it'll be the same players. And it's just going to go round and round. Manager gone, same players. Manager gone, same players. Repeat, rinse and repeat. Like we've been saying, we need to have an overhaul of this squad. A lot of these players have to go. For that to happen, him upstairs needs to get his checkbook out and say, do you know what? I'm not going to look at this as a business. I'm not going to get go-karting. I'm not going to get boxing, Beyonce, whoever, whatever, whenever. Yeah. I want my football team here. This is a football ground first and foremost. It's a football team with football fans. I want to get the fans back on board. I want to get the team playing. Most importantly, I want to start winning trophies for this club and make Tottenham Hotspur the football club, the trophy winning club that it was. Until that happens, we're done.
Good beats. I just want to try and address. It's not an argument. I'm looking for an argument, and I respect your points and I respect what you're saying. But the coach is responsible. When the team wins, who do we say is responsible? When the team loses, who do we say is responsible? It's not one or the other. Coaches, managers, it's a team effort. That's why it's a club. You're both responsible for winning, losing, drawing. What I'm saying is the responsibility of the manager to ensure that these players go out on the pitch to do their best, to give their best, to be coached in such a way that they know exactly what they're doing in any given situation. And he just tweaks things by making the substitutions, maybe a tactical switch if something's happening in the game which somebody else has done management-wise. That's what the manager's down to do. Yeah, he is then accountable for the result. He might not be playing on the pitch. He can't justify somebody coming up and kicking somebody in the head and them getting a penalty. You can't be a coach and say, that was my fault. Of course not. But you're accountable. You're accountable for leading the game when you're 3-1 up, and that's you now to decide, right, I've seen what's now happened with 3-2. I know what these players are like. I know how they react in certain situations. That's down to you. What's the best scenario that I can now get to try and minimize us conceding another goal? Because it's probably going to happen if we continue on the same vein, because I've seen it 100,000 times before. That's his responsibility. If the players ain't got a collective responsibility on the pitch, he has to have it. And he don't show me enough that he does that. It's like fist pumping when we're scoring 3 goals, but it's this when they've scored a goal. I don't see him then go. That's when you need your coach. The coach can be quiet when you're scoring. He needs to be vocal when you are under pressure. I've always been told that. So those are the best coaches, the ones that can just sit there when you're scoring 3 and 4 goals and not just doing all of that, jumping around and hugging all your men, because we can all do that. But when your team needs you, that's when I want to see you coach. That's when I want to see you manage. Not just be like, oh shit, here we go again. It's not my fault, Jack. These are them players. I never bought any of them. Fuck all that. That's what I wanted to say, good beats. Thank you. I'm passing on to Sid again. Have we got anything more to look at in terms of stats? Because I just want to see where. Here we go.
No.
Still in 4th place, guys.
Are we at that 4th position?
I've been looking at the table, guys, and we are currently 4th, which is still astounding. But Newcastle have got 2 games in hand on us and are 2 points behind us.
Yep.
Liverpool have got 2 games in hand on us and are currently 7 points behind us.
Yep.
So we're just ahead of Liverpool, although we've got to go to Liverpool. And Brighton have played 25, so they've got 3 games in hand on us, and they are
7
points behind us.
But,
So there are at least 2 of those teams who, if they win their games, will go ahead of us.
But Sean, it's always better to have the points than the games in hand. That's what we always say, don't we?
Well, I would say that if I didn't see performances like this. If I didn't see performances like this, and it's not the first time, it's been happening since August, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Guys.
So just using those 3 teams who are the 3 most immediate dangers to us in terms of getting into the top 4, we'll finish behind 2 of them at least.
Guys, look at how many goals we've conceded. 40 goals. 40 goals we've conceded.
Even Liverpool, who are having a shocking season by their standards, Virgil van Disney, people are calling them, have only conceded 29.
Exactly.
Newcastle, yes, very strong defensively, 19 goals. If we'd have conceded only 19 goals, we'd be probably in and around the top of the table. No doubts in my mind, because that amount of goals that we've scored is not as much as those 2. But if you keep clean sheets and you keep your scores, this is where we'd be. We'd be in and around here, very, very close, which is what we should have been, because our defense is what we're supposed to be doing here with a 3-man, 3-5-2. You can transition to. I don't understand how it's not working.
Do you know what the best thing we've said tonight, and it's come from your mouth, Sam? So chapeau to you. Is Ten Hag. Ten Hag doesn't play the system he played at Ajax. He's used the players that he's got. He's adapted. He had some iffy results at the beginning of the season. He's had some very good recruitment in crucial areas, which is something we cannot deliver decent recruitment. And look at them. They're flying. They're flying.
They're not flying.
They've got a trophy. They've got a chance of winning a European trophy in his first season here.
In comparison,
we're supposed to have the serial winners, the winner.
Yeah. I was going to say,
I've had enough.
You put their squad with our squad, right? I don't, apart from Kane, because they don't have a striker. I think you're comparing players for player. They've got better players by far than what we've got.
We can't do this. We can't, because all we have to say is compare our squad to Southampton's squad, or compare our squad to Leeds' squad, or compare our squad to all them teams that we've lost lower down who've got nowhere near as good a squad as us. We can't do that. It's who the players turn up on the day. It's who the players turn up on the day. And have they got it here? They haven't got it there.
Yeah.
This is our problem. And I've seen it for a long, long time, but I've tried to kind of think, right, they're getting in the managers that are going to allow us to have that. They're getting in winning managers that are going to get us over the first hurdle, Carabao Cup. Win that at all costs. Over top 4. Win that at all costs. Over top 4. Over anything else. That's the first trophy to win that can happen in February. Win that. Then worry about everything else. Because what will happen is the mentality of these players know we can do what we can do. We can win. They've never won it. Nothing. None of these players. None of them. Yeah, Hugo's got World Cups. Perisic and all the rest. Yeah, great. Fantastic. But collective here, we haven't got it. You need it as a club.
And that's why we need to take domestic cups seriously.
Can Spurs get any worse?
Get any worse? Yes, they can.
What a question that is.
As Bob the Builder would say, yes, we can.
Sid, can Spurs get any worse?
I don't think it gets any worse than what it is. I think we've seen the worst of it all season.
No, it can get worse. We can get out of the top 4. That's what I'm saying. In terms of, that's what I'm saying by worse, because the way we play is the way we play. We're going to have results, hit or miss, but the way we play is the way we play. I'm just saying, can it get any worse by us not getting top 4? Because that will be a real...
No, it can't get worse because top 4, we're in there by default, man. We're in there by default. So the teams that are rightfully supposed to be in there will be in there at the end of the season. And unfortunately, we're probably going to be the ones that aren't supposed to be in there.
And the only thing it'll do is it'll put a dent in Levy's bloody Excel sheet.
Yes.
That's all it'll do.
This is it.
That wee bald gnome sets the fucking agenda of this football club. Serial bad decisions at all levels. Underneath him, getting him? It was him that brought Conte to the club. How did he do that?
I think we're done. I think we as I said, I was going to try and do talking points every couple of weeks or every few weeks, but we might have to do something because we ain't got a midweek game, have we, this week?
No. We don't have
thanks to Conte.
Yeah, we might have to talk more about this because I think there's one or two ways this is going to go from this point now. And I thought we had that, because Conte's probably looked at that and thought, I don't even care now about anything. He probably just doesn't care about anything. And this is what
he's on the plane. He's on the plane to Turin now. Doesn't give a damn.
He does care, man. Because did you not see his reactions after every goal we scored? The reaction was there. That's not a reaction of a man who doesn't care. I'm sorry.
What did he do?
His celebrations, isn't it? He turned around and he was giving it all this.
No. But that's what I was saying in my earlier rant. I'm saying Klopp's the best at that. Klopp is the world's greatest. Every time Liverpool score, he can fist pump. He's running down he's running down. He's doing all of that. Watch Klopp when they're losing. Watch Klopp when the goals get. You don't see him pulling his team out. I don't see him dig his team out. The best coaches and managers dig their teams out when they're under pressure. When they're playing well and scoring goals, they sit back and just watch because they don't need to do anything. Your players need you in times of stress and mental breakdowns, which some of our players seem to have on a regular basis. Dyer, I'm not saying him today, but he has that on a regular basis. How do I stop him from being isolated and exposed? Do I consider playing him slightly further forward? Do I play him a little bit deeper as a lower sweeper? Get him out of the action. What do you do? These are what coaches should be thinking about when you've seen it time and time again. I can't go on anymore because I can't do this. I wish I could just actually coach that team at times, but I know I couldn't. But I wish, because I think I can. At times I think I can. Guys, last words. Sid, final words.
Nothing to say, mate. NTD, nothing to declare. I'm done. I'm done.
Nothing to declare. Sean.
This is a proper football team. Jennings, Kinnear, England, Beale, Knowles. This is a team that cemented my love for this football club. And do you know what they did? They put their lives on the line every week. Too many of these players aren't doing it. And I'm sick of it. And it comes from above. They say that a fish rots from the head down. We are the biggest codswallop going. I've just had enough. Really, really had enough. Unless I hear that Conte's got a one-way ticket to Turin, I'm done out here.
This is what they've done to us. Look, the hope that kills. They always say that the hope that kills. We had hope yesterday, and we had hope with 75 minutes gone, but it was killed. And that's what Tottenham do to you, people. So if you want to, please do so. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream if you liked it. I'm getting warmer here. It's getting a little bit warmer. Heating's coming on. That's why. So, yeah, I'm not sweating because of Spurs. I don't really care now. At this moment in time, I'm done. But, yeah, it's getting hot. So join us for, I think we'll do a talking points. We'll try and do so. We need to get this out of our system probably a little bit more. Thank you to Sid. Thank you to Sean. Pav couldn't make it today, but we'll thank her and thank all those others, Jodi, Mike, Darius, Marlon, Deji, all the rest of you down in our WhatsApp group. I'm sure it's kicking off, and I'm sure it'll be entertaining once we go back and see what's kicking off. And thank you for watching. Go on.
Let me just say one thing. Finally, Mike went to watch Spurs today. We should have got him on here to see, because he's always defending certain players and whatever. I want him to come on there now, and he's actually seen them today, full 90 minutes. Let's see what his opinion of them lot were today.
I don't know. I don't know. But I do know is it's time to go. When am I going to do the reaction countdown? See what we got. What we got to? Oh, the thanks. That's the one. The thanks to go out with. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sean. Thank you very much, viewers. Make sure you comment as well. Like the stream. Send it around. The algorithms on this are terrible because YouTube do terrible things to small people on the YouTube land. That's it. Enough done. See you later.
Please note, Mike.